is Michael Popok for Legal AF with some breaking news. We've got criminal charges now being filed against Donald Trump and J.D. Vance related to their hate speech directed at the beleaguered but proud Haitian community in Springfield, Ohio. It's under a unique aspect of Ohio procedural law that allows a private citizen, through affidavit, to file in a municipal court charges against another person to ultimately be approved by that judge. And that's exactly what's happened. The Haitian community has had enough. So the Haitian Bridge Alliance, a not-for-profit in Springfield, Ohio, has filed the charges. And I'll talk about the next steps under the statute. Let's talk about the statute first, the law, then we'll talk about the ramifications and what happens next. The law is Ohio Code 2935.09D. D like David, which says that a private citizen having knowledge of the facts who seeks to cause an arrest or prosecution under this section may file an affidavit charging the offense committed with a reviewing official, that's a municipal court judge, for the purpose of review to determine if a complaint should be filed by the prosecuting attorney. So it starts with a civilian. It starts with the private citizen, who then, after it's vetted by the municipal court judge, after a hearing, can't be dismissed before, then it gets sent over to the prosecutor's office for them to file an ultimate complaint, a criminal complaint on the same grounds. A private citizen may file the affidavit charging the offense committed with the clerk of the court before or after the normal business hours, and that's what they've done. They hired a law firm, and they've gone after Donald Trump. Here are the charges that are being lodged against Donald Trump by way of affidavit: swearing out a charge, if you will, disrupting public service by causing widespread bomb and other threats that resulted in massive disruptions to the public services in Springfield, Ohio, making false alarms, by knowingly causing alarm in the Springfield community, by continuing to repeat lies that state and local officials have said were false about cat and pet eating, committing telecommunications harassment by spreading claims they know to be false during the presidential debate, campaign rallies, nationally televised interviews, and social media. We'll take a look at some clips related to that in a minute. Committing aggravated menacing in violation by knowingly making intimidating statements with the intent to abuse, threaten, or harass the recipients, including Trump's threat to deport immigrants who are here legally to Venezuela. These are Haitians, workers that were brought to this country willingly with a welcome mat by Springfield, Ohio, to fill jobs, 15,000 of them missing from their manufacturing plants. And this is how we pay them back. This is how we pay back. This is how we punch down to a downtrodden people brought to this country just to keep the economy of Springfield, Ohio alive. So they're going to be deported to Venezuela when they're here under temporary protective status by our government. More crimes that are alleged against and sworn out against Donald Trump and J.D. Vance by this Haitian nonprofit group. Committing aggravated menacing by knowingly causing others to falsely believe that members of Springfield's Haitian community would cause serious physical harm to the person or property of others in Springfield. To bring everybody up to speed, Donald Trump, at least during the debate, brought on by Laura Loomer, an alt-right podcaster and maven for Donald Trump, whispering in his ear in order to bring racism further to the forefront of this election, accused the downtrodden Haitian community, a proud community that I call colleague and friend in Miami. The Haitians that have come here legally, working legally, not crossing a border. There is no border between Ohio and Haiti. Came here legally through an invitation program to work in the factories and in the businesses of Springfield, Ohio, hit terribly by COVID. They've claimed that they're going to eat your pets. They're going to come for your cats and your dogs. Donald Trump went first. Here he is at the debate at the 26-minute mark in the debate.
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as the rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, will end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is the
people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from television.
But the people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme.
Cat food has been the same forever. It's time for cat food to move into the 21st century. That's why you've got to try Smalls. It's time to make kibble a thing of the past. Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your fridge, and it's delivered right to your door. That's why veterinarians.org rates Smalls 10 out of 10 for ingredient quality. My cat Chanel, yes, Chanel, her favorite flavor is smooth fish, and my cat prefers Smalls way more than her previous cat food. I did a taste test. I put 2 bowls side by side, and Chanel immediately went to Smalls. Smalls was started back in 2017 by a couple of guys home cooking cat food in small batches for their friends. And a few short years later, they've served millions of meals to cats across the U.S. I feel better knowing I'm feeding my cat Chanel real food, not burnt kibble. I can finally open a packet of cat food and not get nauseous. I actually recognize the ingredients in a packet of Smalls food. After making the switch to Smalls, 88% of cat owners reported overall health improvements. That's a big deal. The team at Smalls is so confident your cat will love their product that you can try it risk-free. That means they will refund you if your cat won't eat their food. Now is the time to make the switch to Smalls. Head to smalls.com/legalaf and use promo code LegalAF at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use my code LegalAF for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code LegalAF for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. All right, why is JD Vance also spreading these terrible, virulent blood libel against the Haitian community? And he does it at every rally, at every stop. Every time there's a microphone within an inch of his face, he uses it to punch down and attack the downtrodden and the disenfranchised, people that require our protection. These are people yearning to breathe free, to paraphrase Emma Lazarus at the base of the Statue of Liberty. Not people that we're supposed to crush under the weight of totalitarianism and threaten to deport them to Venezuela. Let's listen to JD Vance, and now you'll see the reason that he has been charged, sworn out in a new affidavit with criminal charges.
Thank you so much for answering questions. I am Casey Jones with WCCB. I want to ask you, you're talking about hostility. So looking at how things are going in Springfield, Ohio right now, where you made claims that Haitian migrants were eating pets that have since been debunked. There are threats to the community. Things are hostile. Knowing that America is so divided right now, would you change anything about the way you spread those now debunked false claims?
Well, what I have a responsibility to do in Springfield, Ohio, or any constituency in the state of Ohio, and if God willing, the American people honor me by making me their next vice president, this will be my responsibility for the whole country. My responsibility is to listen to the people that I serve and not a biased media. And that's what I'll keep on doing in Springfield, Ohio, or anywhere else.
Now, let me clear up the procedural issue here. This is not an indictment by a grand jury. This is not even a criminal complaint by a prosecutor. But Ohio recognizes the right of its citizens to swear out by affidavit, meaning sworn under penalty of perjury, crimes against others, their neighbors, Trump and Vance, and the like. This wasn't created just for Trump and Vance, but it's being used appropriately there by the Haitian community, who got together with a very good and creative lawyer, the Chandra firm, and said, how can we stop this? We are being abused. We are being victimized. There are bomb threats that are pouring into Springfield, Ohio. Haitians can't walk down the street in Springfield, Ohio without getting a side-eye glance. Not from the locals. The locals welcome them. To answer the question, how did the Haitians get to Ohio since they don't share a border? For those that are a little lacking in geography, it's because the Haitian community, through its established community of professionals in Miami, lawyers and doctors and the rest, and pillars of our community and society in Miami, they knew that they needed a helping hand. They needed someone to give them boots to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And they knew about missing workers in Springfield, Ohio, and an underground railroad between the established business and legal community in Miami and Springfield, Ohio, put the Haitians to work in Springfield, Ohio. Isn't that what we're supposed to do in America? But no, Donald Trump figured out there were brown people and black people. There were others that he could point to in order to try to win election, to scare voters into voting for him. And so he accused, and then when J.D. Vance is asked the question, well, why are you doing that? Why are you attacking the downtrodden? Aren't you married to an Indian American or a Southeast Asian woman? Don't you have brown children? And he said, I'm just calling attention to Kamala Harris's failed immigration policies. How is the Haitian community operating under temporary protective status lawfully in this country, working in the Springfield, Ohio factories, an example of a failed immigration policy? This isn't border. Do people not know geography? Maybe you can make a border argument in Texas with Mexico. Maybe. Maybe you could make a border argument between the outer regions of Nova Scotia and Maine or something like that. But Haiti and Ohio? Get a map, man. Grab a map and take a look. They didn't end up there except by invitation and the Underground Railroad, bringing them there to help the economy of Springfield, Ohio, and therefore the economy of Americans. 69% of all Haitians outside of Haiti are here legally. Legally. And this other group is temporary protective status. So I like it. Here's the procedure. Since it's not an indictment by a grand jury, it's not a sworn criminal complaint by a prosecutor. Here's the process under the statute that I just outlined at the top of the hot take, 2935.09D of the Ohio Code. Starts with the affidavit, now prepared, where you swear out under penalty of perjury, and it's a crime if you lie in your swearing out. So you can commit a crime in charging a crime if you don't do it right, if you don't have the facts, but they have the facts here. They then bring it to a municipal court judge who's the reviewing court. The reviewing court checks the allegations against the criminal statute, decides whether it meets its test. If it does, he passes it through to the prosecutor. Prosecutor then decides whether they're going to use an indictment, a grand jury by indictment, or swear out a criminal complaint. So then it ultimately lands with the prosecutor. All along the way, Donald Trump is going to try to somehow defend himself. Now, they reached Donald Trump for comment, allegedly, to ask him, oh, well, what do you think about it? And of course, Stephen Chung, who's his spokesperson, said the following when he was reached for comment about the criminal charges. President Trump is rightfully highlighting the failed immigration system that Kamala Harris has overseen, bringing thousands of illegal immigrants pouring into communities like Springfield and many others across the country. Wake up, Chung. I don't know where your parents came from, but they weren't Aboriginal people. They weren't Native Americans. Your people came from somewhere. That's not how the Haitian community got to Springfield, Ohio. They didn't come teeming through the border that doesn't exist. They were invited with a welcome mat by the business community, by the Chamber of Commerce of Springfield, Ohio, to take and to go into factories and replace workers, 15,000 of them that had disappeared after COVID in a beleaguered community. Stop using them as an example of your hate speech. And that's why this has got to be taken seriously. We'll have to see what municipal court judge in Clark County, Ohio is assigned and what he does next. But I like where this is going. And it's important through this kind of case and civil lawsuits being filed against Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. This goes beyond First Amendment. You can't use blood libel and defame somebody, and not everything you say has First Amendment protection or is not subject to criminal prosecution. And the immunity decision by the United States Supreme Court doesn't help Donald Trump now. He's not the president of the United States. He's on the campaign trail. They'll argue it's core presidential campaign speech. To what? To abuse and beat up and diminish and undermine a proud Black community when you're a couple of white guys running for the presidency and the vice presidency? I mean, it's just mind-boggling. We've got to continue to call it out here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. And if you love everything on MeidasTouch and Legal AF, including our podcast on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with a live record, and then on podcast platforms of your choice, you're going to love our new channel. It's a Legal AF in collaboration with MTN. It's like Legal AF and MTN had a baby. And we're having a lot of babies on MTN lately, which is a great thing. And we call it Legal AF MTN. It's on YouTube. It's a new channel. Help us get to 100,000 free subscribers before Halloween. 100,000 before Halloween. I won't rest until we do it. You can do it. You can help us do it. If you already like what's on Legal AF and MeidasTouch Network, you're going to love the new channel. I sit at the intersection of law and politics. I curate the top stories, and I bring it to you the way I always have, without blowing smoke or sunshine, and bringing it to you with the experience of somebody that knows what they're talking about at the intersection of law and politics. And we're going to bring a new podcast over there. We got a new show called Unprecedented, looking at the Supreme Court on a weekly basis. Once the October term starts, the first Monday in October, bringing over some new voices and some regular contributors you've come to love on the MeidasTouch Network. So go right now at Legal AF MTN and free subscribe. So until my next exclusive content on Legal AF MTN, the new YouTube channel, and my next hot take here, and my podcast, Legal AF, on Wednesdays and Saturdays with Karen Friedman Nicknifilo on Wednesdays and Ben Meiselas on Saturdays. This is Michael Popok, and I'm reporting. Heary, heary, Legal AF Law Breakdown is now in session. Go beyond the headlines and get a deep dive into the important legal concepts you need to know, and we discuss every day on Legal AF. Exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, all for the price of a couple of cups of coffee. Join us at patreon.com/legalaf. That's patreon.com/legalaf.